Why, hello. How are you this absolutely wonderful day? How are you? I'm doing great. I miss you. The first thing I would like you to do before we begin today, because today we will be doing lesson 16, problem set, I would like you to get out the green book and I would like you to tear out page 99. So pause the video. I mean, you may have done this before you started watching the video, and that's fine too. But when you are ready, you should have this page out, page 99 from your green book, and then we'll begin. And we're back. So I'm assuming you've already put your name on the top as well. If you did not do that, please, again, I say this a million times, pause the video as many times as you need to do what you need to do and to keep up. So we're going to do some division today. So we're going to show how it looks over here in dots and ones. We're going to see actually what we are doing when we divide. Then, because division isn't just about slapping numbers above and below and things like that. We actually want to know what it is we're doing when we divide. So that's what this is for. And we're going to add the extra step of using multiplication to check your work. Okay, so let's begin, shall we? Number one, we actually read it like this: 7 divided by 2. Okay, or like this way, 7 divided by 2. So how many ones are there? The dividend is only ones, right? It's only one number. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mr. Brown is very particular. He always likes to do like a 5, and then he likes to go by 5s as much as he can. So I would like you to do this as well. And then we are going to draw a line underneath it, okay? Because underneath this is going to be our groups, okay? Now, this is the number that's going to be divided, and this is how many groups we have, 2. So this bottom part, underneath the dots, we're going to make 2 groups. 1, 2. Go ahead and do that now. So when we since these aren't like physical things, like these aren't, if I was using like little cubes, we could physically move the cubes. Well, we can't do that, right? These are dots. So we need to keep track of when we use the dots and when we move, quote unquote, move them from here to here. So this is how we're going to do this. 1, 1. You see how I did that? I cross it out first, then I move it to the box. So I remember there's got to be the same amount in each group. That's the very important rule of division. Whatever is in this group also has to be in this group. They've got to be equal or like groups. So again, you go cross, dot, cross it out, dot, cross it out, dot, cross it out, dot. Okay? Now, can we go any further? There's a dot right here. However, we cannot place that dot here or here because then the groups wouldn't be equal anymore. Okay? So, how many are in, here's a nice easy question. How many are in each group? Well, there's 3 in each group. Please put that right here. That's called the quotient. Okay? What we sometimes call the answer, the quotient. Okay? Now, how many of the 7 have we used? All 7? Heck no. We've only used 6. So 7 minus 6. Oh, I should have a sharper pencil than this. This pencil stinks. So how many are left over? Oh, there it is. 1. That is our remainder. And we write R1. You please make sure you're doing everything that I'm doing. Okay? So over here, the quotient is 3. And the remainder is 1. Oh, but we're not done. Because now we have to use multiplication, which is the opposite of division, to check our work. Okay? 3 times 2. Why 3 times 2? Because look, 3 times 2. You're multiplying these 2 numbers together, the quotient and the divisor. Obviously, that's 6. But our dividend wasn't 6. Our dividend was 7. But if you add 1 to this, which is our remainder, you get the 7. Okay, so now we have all three of the numbers we've got the 3, we got the 2, we got the 7. Oh, there's a 7. So this is how we use multiplication to check our work. Again, pause the video as many times as you need to make sure you have exactly what I have, and we are going to move on to example number 2. Now for this example, we've got a 2-digit dividend, whereas before we had a 1-digit dividend. So this dividend has 10s and 1s. How many 10s does it have? 2. How many 1s does it have? Yet again, it has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, just like before, we're going to put a line underneath. And just like before, we're going to make 2 groups because the divisor is 2. 27, and by the way, these 27, they can be whatever you wish. 27 cookies, 27 Pokemon cards, whatever you wish, put into 2 groups. And they have to have the same amount in each group, okay? Now, we start with the 10s, okay? We start with the 10s. Cross it out, 1 group. Cross it out, 1 in the group, okay? Now, have how many are in each group? Again, pretty right? There's 1. So we'll put the 1 right there. Okay? Notice how it's above the 10s. See, this 2 is a 10. We've got to put it there, not over the 7, right there. Okay? Have we used all of the 10s? You bet we have. 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay? Now let's do something a little funky. This 7 can't be up there anymore. It wants to be down here where the action is. Draw a little teeny tiny little arrow. Let's get that 7 down there. Will ya? Wants to be down there. Let's drop it. Okay? And then, just like we did up here, it's the same thing we're doing again, right? Cross and cross and cross, 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 just like before, right? And just like before, not just like before. So, just like with example number 1, there are 3 in each group. Just like with example number 1, we use 6 out of the 7. Just like before, there's a remainder of 1. Okay? The only difference between this one is that we added the extra, we're at 2 digits. Okay? So, the quotient is what? You tell me. Which one of these numbers is the quotient? That's right. It's 13. And the remainder is 1. Now, how we can check our work this time is going to be a little different because we should always multiply. Right up here, we multiplied the 3 and the 2. Well, that's like a basic multiplication fact, right? 3 times 2. But down here, we have to multiply the quotient, which is 13, times the divisor, which is 2. So now we're doing 13 times 2 to check our work. Okay? All right, we go up, then over. Up, then over. Remember that from standard algorithm. Up, then over. 2 times 3 is 6. We don't need that anymore. 2 times 1 is 2. Wait a minute. That's a 26. Our dividend was 27. Oh, Mr. Brown, you forgot about the remainder, right? If we add that in, we get a 27. Okay, which is our original. And that's how we check. So in other words, if we didn't end up with a 27, if we ended up with something else, we've done something wrong. Either here or somewhere, right? Probably here. But so in other words, do you see what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing. Let's move on to the back. Yes, we are going to do all 4 examples. And yes, we are going to do all 4 examples together. And yes, this paper will be collected. And I will look, and the adult in the room will look to see that it's completely filled in. Okay? 8 divided by 3. Okay, I think we're getting the hang of this now. We're getting the hang of this, all right? Let's see. Let's do, this is only a 1s, so let's do, Mr. Brown's a big fan of doing 5 dots per row. Well, I can't do a 5 in this row, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't do 2 full, but I like to do it by 5s as often as I can, right? Now this time, though, there's 3. So let's draw a line underneath. And how many lines are we going to draw down here to make 3 groups? 1 line, 2, 3 lines, 4, I don't know. Oh, believe it or not, we're only going to draw 2 lines. There and there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Believe me, mine's not great. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what you do. So Mr. Brown, I don't see where, oh, wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, those are the 3 groups. Okay. Again, cross it out, cross it out, cross it out, 1 in each group. Cross it out, cross it out, cross it out, 1 in each group. Yeah, we got some. Now, Mr. Brown, oh, no, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare put this one here, because we would have to have 3 of them in order to be able to fit them all. You see what I'm saying? So don't you dare put these down here. These are remainders. These cannot go because they need to be like groups. How many are each group? 2. What do we call that again? We call that that. Right? We call it the that. Right. And how many of the remainder? 2. Okay. Now, by the way, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. We have not used up all 8. We've only used up 6 out of the 8. This is the part that gets a little funky sometimes, is this part down here. We've only used 6 out of the 8. This is where we figure out what the leftovers are, right? If we didn't have these dots, and by the way, these dots are not going to be here forever, we would be like, well, how am I supposed to figure out, oh, we only use 6 out of, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. We only use 6 out of the 8. That's how we get it. So eventually these dots are not going to be, and we're just going to be all working with this. Okay? And we know that the quotient is 2 and the remainder is 2. Now, how do we check our work? What 2 numbers? Write it in this box now. What 2 numbers are we going to multiply? Go ahead, I'll wait. If you were thinking 3 times 2, we can write it this way if you want to. You can do that. 3 times 2 or 2 times 3. It's 6. Well, that's not what that is. That's not what that is. Oh, what about that? Plus 2. That's where we get the 8. That is the dividend. Okay? Last, but smurfingly not least, let's kick it up a notch, shall we? You guys are doing very good. Thank you for following along. Thank you for staying with me and doing exactly what I do. Last but never least, 38 divided by 3. How many 10s do we have in the dividend? Yep. How many 1s do we have in the dividend? Yep. Okay, 38. What do we put underneath these dots? Yep, a line. Maybe do a neater one than Mr. Brown's doing. How many groups do we have? Yep, that many. So we do 2 lines. 1, 2 to make 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. See that? 1, 2, 3. So we add 2 lines to make 3 groups. Please do that. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a choice. And I'm being 100% serious when I say this. If you want to try this completely on your own, I give you permission to put a star right here and stop the video now and actually do it. I've never done this before, but I'll do it today. If you feel confident enough to give this a try on your own, star it, stop the video, and do it. If you want to stay with me and do it together, that's fine too. So either 1, 2, 3, goodbye, or stay with me. And okay, so welcome. Welcome to those of you who are staying with me. Okay, so we start with the 10s first. Cross it out, cross it out, cross it out. There has to be the same in each group. Okay, did we use all 3 10s? Yes, we did. 3. Oh, by the way, how many are in each group? That's what this part of the quotient is. Okay, did we use all 3? Yes. 3 minus 3 is 0. Draw the arrow and drop the 8. And there's a reason why we're dropping the 8 and we don't just deal with the 8 up there, because then it's just a whole, I'll talk about that at another time. And we remember how to do this, right? There's 3 groups. Cross, da, cross, da, cross, ba. Cross, ba, cross, ba, cross, ba. 2 left over. Okay? Now, again, how many are in each group for the ones? Right? There's 2 in each group. Next question. Did we use all 8 of the ones? No, we did not. How many did we use? 6 of them. With 2 left over. R2. Okay? Trust me, after we do this 100,000 times, you'll be extremely comfortable with this. How do we check our work? Well, we always multiply the dividend by the divisor. 12 times 3. Now, some people know 12 times 3 just off the top of their head. See, 12 times 3. Some people just know they're 12. Some people don't. You can do it standard algorithm if you wanted to. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. It's 36. But again, let me show it again. Oh, and by the way, so if we hadn't filled this out, that's the quotient. That's the remainder. 12 and 2. We've got to add this back in. We've got to add this in there, okay? Because that will get us to what our original dividend was. Thank you for sticking around. Folks, please make sure you did exactly 100% everything that I did and hand this in to the adult, and then you will be given instructions on what to do next. Have a absolutely fantastically wonderful day. Bye-bye.